The New Orleans Saints. The first quarter of the season already in the rearview mirror, and off we go in Week 5 on EA Sports. And they will elect to not bring this one out as our first drive will begin at the 25. Coming out with a jumbo package to start the drive. Here's Walker to start the drive. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. Well, this defense for the Saints, they had certainly had their struggles to start the season, but they put it all together in getting that first victory a week ago.
And every defensive team that we talk to, they spend a lot of time talking about creating turnovers. And anytime you get 2 or more in a game, you've had a really good performance. They exceeded that number in a huge way. They got the football back 4 times in the win.
Walker now on 1st and 10. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. They look to throw. It's Locke. Escaping the pressure right. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
Oh, I saw this one with defensive eyes because even as he escaped the pocket and bought time, the coverage stayed tight. Nothing broke down. Throwing it away, that was his only option.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Now Locke. And the catch is made here by Tyler Lockett. And this is going to be another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Saints 42. The drive stays intact with a pickup of 13. So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. Now to the ground. Here's Walker. And he'll take this one down to about the 40. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Now, that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater, he just made a great play there.
On 2nd and 9, Locke. That's complete to Disley, the tight end. And he'll be taken down here just shy of the 30. Well, whatever script they put together for this offensive drive, Charles, seems to be working. I'm curious to see if this defense will make any adjustments here.
Things certainly going according to plan, aren't they? I mean, the way they're advancing the football, it's like they're on the practice field having one of their better days. But instead, it's game day, and they're moving the ball downfield with purpose.
Give them 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this first quarter. On 2nd and 7, Locke. And this is thrown to the sideline. No receiver in the area, though, and that's going to bring out a flag. We saw it, too. Nobody in the vicinity of that throw, and that earns him the penalty.
Yeah, you've got to at least get it close enough to one of your own guys in order to dodge the penalty.
So now it's 3rd and long, because remember, they also lose a down on the grounding call. Throwing now is Locke. He wants it all for the end zone. And unable to connect, incomplete. I'll give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
One thing that you're going to see from this offense is that they love the matchup with their wide receivers against this secondary. That one wasn't successful, but don't expect them to back away from attacking all game long.
And his kick is good. Oh, he just did tuck it into the bottom of that left corner. And the Seahawks grab a 3-0 lead. So the opening drive does yield points, maybe not the 7 they wanted, but they'll take the 3.
Accumulating first downs does not go up on the scoreboard, but it does go into the DNA of a team that's trying to establish itself to start a game. That has to feel pretty good for them. They'll take the 3.
Yeah, they had 3 first downs and 3 points. Winston and the Saints now with a 1st and 10 right at the 30. They start the drive on the ground. Kamara. And tough going there as he'll only get it up to about the 31. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who can do more than one thing. And I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively. On 2nd and 9, Winston. Oh, into a sea of defenders and intercepted. And he'll bring this one back to the 29. Boy, he had to fit that into a pretty tight window over the middle. And, Charles, I think they were in zone defensively, weren't they?
They certainly were. Nice read on your part. And sometimes the quarterback isn't fooled between zone and man. Sometimes just fooled by the type of zone that he sees. Because oftentimes those linebackers will vacate and run downfield with receivers. In this case, he played a pure zone and was in the wrong spot for the QB.
Here's Walker. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. Well, if you look where that play starts, O-line versus D-line, that was a battle won by the D-line.
Yeah, and oftentimes it's won by quickness off the ball. Who can handle the guy across from them best? On that play, the defensive line did exactly that.
They'll try again here from the 7 on 2nd and goal. Now Locke going to run a little touch pass here to his wideout. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Now a timeout called for by the defense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Now they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal. To throw it is Locke. Eluding the pressure right. And he'll just throw this one over in the way of the security crew. Incomplete here. 4th down after the New Orleans defense holds serve. They'll run for it. It's Walker. He's fighting, but they're not going to let him in. Stopped at the 2-yard line. The run on 4th and goal from the 4 is stopped short. And the Saints able to come up with a goal line stand. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. They trail 3-0 after the INT last time led to a field goal, but now another fresh start here, 1st and 10. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
That sure looked like a nice call by the defense, and they're very cohesive in their coverage. As soon as he cut inside, they broke on the football and met him as the ball got there and forced the incompletion.
Out of his end zone, Winston. Thomas has got it, complete. And he is out of bounds up around the 14-yard line. They needed some breathing room. He gave it to him. 11 yards and a first down.
All-pro receiver Michael Thomas missed all of 2021 while recovering from an ankle injury, but we'll never forget that he set an NFL record in 2019 with 145 catches. When healthy, borderline unguardable, just like he was on that play.
Jameis now on first down. Flush to his right. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away. The Saints at 1-3 here in the early part of the year. And they were winners their last time out, so they'll be looking to make it 2 in a row.
And so much about football, partner, comes down to mindset. Being in the right frame of mind, and the best way to get in that good frame of mind, winning. So they come in feeling good. They've got the home crowd behind them. I think they're going to be tough to beat in this one.
To throw again on second down. Winston. And he whips that one incomplete there.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Jameis to throw it. He throws and he hits the slant route to Thomas. And he is going to have a Saints first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, we always hear about the connections some quarterbacks have with certain receivers. I think this guy has a connection with just about everyone. Didn't mind throwing it in there against double coverage to him.
Shows some confidence, supreme confidence.
Big-time confidence that he would make the play for him, and he did.
3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Now Winston. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down. This will be the 8th play of the drive. It's 3rd and 7. Now Winston. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Sidney Jones. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line.
Well, those have been a problem for him all season, but never quite as much as they have in these last few minutes. Let's count it up now. A pair of picks on his team's last 2 drives and double-digit interceptions this season. I don't care if you're the best in the game or an undrafted rookie. You've got to take better care of the football or you're going to cost your team chances.
After the turnover, here's Locke. He's going to take a shot right away for the end zone. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. Marquise Goodwin, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Seahawks are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point up and through by Myers. And the lead grows to 10-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. From the 10. And they will wrangle it down a couple yards shy of the 30. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively, obviously. 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit?
And, Jameis intercepted a 3rd time. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. But Charles, he was looking for just a short throw, kept it in range for the rare linebacker pick 6.
And give him full credit for his focus. He just kept the quarterback in his sights, and where he was looking to throw, he positioned himself perfectly to be there for the interception. He made the play of the game for his defense right there.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. From the 10. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. And this is going to put them back with not great field position.
So they really got zero benefit at all, right? Sometimes you can absorb a penalty when you get a big return. Then the penalty brings it back, but you still have great field position. As you pointed out, not in this case.
Winston now to throw on 1st down. That is hauled in by Michael Thomas. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. 25 yards that time. Throwing, Winston. Over the middle and into the hands of his receiver, Landry. And they're going to get this up to midfield. Winston now from the 50. Thomas brings it in. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 27-yard line. 23 yards the pickup there. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now it's Kamara in the passing game. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a 2nd and about a foot. Well, that's now 4 completions in a row. A good bounce back following the interception last drive.
Certainly not letting it affect him, that's for sure. And we all know interceptions are going to happen. So the big trick, don't let it affect you going forward. Most of the good quarterbacks, they just tell the ball boy, get that one out of the rotation, give me a fresh ball, and let's go. He's got his offense moving again.
And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. From the gun, Winston. And he's got him. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Taysom Hill, a 15-yard touchdown grab. And the Saints are able to make some inroads here to that deficit. What's good on the extra point, and that'll cut the lead to 17-7. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. Dwayne Eskridge elects to bring it out. And he'll be brought down at the 28-yard line, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone gets him 3 more. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense.
Well, partner, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. 1 play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
From the 30 on 2nd down. Locke going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And the defense loses him. It's complete. And all the way in. Touchdown, Seattle. DK Metcalf, 70 yards. And his guys now an extra point away from taking a 3-score lead. Myers connects on the PAT. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
This is taken just shy of the 10. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape, up past the 30. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And, partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now. But let's give credit where it's due, because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
Yeah, because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football.
A yard in the wrong direction makes third down tougher. Third down and 9.
They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first.
On third down, Winston. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today.
Jordan Brooks with it.
And he'll bring this one back to the 29.
From the gun, it's Walker.
Down to about the 22 here. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short. Block working out of the gun.
Throw out wide to Walker.
And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped it to 1. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
Not quite enough to get into the end zone, but what a nice play there. He makes the catch, tries to turn upfield and get to the pylon, but doesn't quite get there.
And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle.
Kenneth Walker, his 7th rushing touchdown of the year. And the Seahawks continue to pull away here in this first half.
And certainly some credit there for that touchdown goes to the offensive line.
They never get the credit they deserve in the stat sheet, but they are the reason that they got the points. Excellent job up front, clearing the way for the score.
Extra point up and through by Myers. And a rout is on here in this first half. The kick unit for the Seahawks out there on the field, and we are ready to rock.
From the 10. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And with a little under a minute remaining, they may try to put something together here just to try to cut into that deficit.
Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Winston. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Quandre Diggs.
Well, there's two sides to this coin. I mean, on one side, 5 interceptions now thrown for him. That's tough. But, man, this defense, they have been ball hawking and impressive. But, Charles, let's flip it back over. If you're coaching a quarterback that's struggling this much at this stage of the game, do you maybe try to get him out?
I would think about it, and I think about it.
And this will be caught by Metcalf for a Seahawk touchdown.
A great effort there. in the final seconds of the first half. And the Seahawks will extend their lead here just before halftime. And his kick is good, and flags fly as well. Some frustration showing through right now. This is going to be a roughing call, and they'll accept that penalty. Boy, I guess they're going to keep trying to put the pedal to the metal here. They're going to try an onside kick. And the Saints hands team able to rein this one in. A second quarter onside kick there that failed. Is that something that maybe they had dialed up before this game started?
It feels like it, doesn't it? That they thought they had the right situation, you know, and the right approach in going after it. Also may signal that they feel like they have the superior team, that they can try these sorts of things and it won't come back and hurt them later.
Throwing to start the drive, but that went incomplete.
I hate to say it, Charles, but the way that he has played in this first half, you just kind of hold your breath every time he drops back to pass.
Yeah, you might be holding your breath, but those guys on the defensive side of the ball, they've got big smiles on their faces. He's handing out picks like the people just leave the candy out at Halloween and you take what you want. They're having a blast.
And now here is another interception. Picked off by Jamal Adams. And the Seahawks are going to take over once again at their own 37-yard line. A final shot before half for Locke. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And got his man complete. And he's in for the touchdown on the final play of the first half. The prayer is answered.
How did they get that done? Well, this is exactly where I expect teams to take a shot. Right after a turnover, you count on the defense being a little bit jumbled coming out on the field, maybe catch them back on their heels, and that's exactly what they did there. They threw it downfield and really created a big play.
Well, you said jumbled. They were the definition of jumbled defensively. One play and into the end zone. So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. This one taken just inside the 10. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. And they have a mountainous deficit looming in front of them. It was really, Charles, a disaster of the first half. So where do they go from here?
Well, first thing they have to remember is that what's done is done and there's no going back. And now you have to play this drive by drive. Obviously, come back in this spot, pretty unlikely. But you still have to go out, take pride in your work, and try and put something together here in the second half.
Play action now. Winston. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up fourth down. They're indeed going. It's Winston. Open man is Michael Thomas. And he is going to have the Saints first down as they manage to convert. And that'll keep the drive alive. To throw is Winston. It's hauled in by Hardy. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. You're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
To throw again on second down, Winston. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down.
Well, partner, they've certainly played up to their top 10 defensive ranking this week. They've stifled this opposing offense throughout this game. This contest is now lopsided because of their efforts, and there's still a quarter to go.
7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. To the air again with Winston. Oh, he put it on the carpet, a fumble. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And he'll take it across midfield and down to the 48-yard line. These defenses have become so opportunistic, and no matter what you're playing, in this case wide receiver, you got to be careful.
You certainly do, because there is a phrase in today's football that we use all the time: completing the process of the catch. Well, it's after you do that where the trouble begins, right? Meaning you've tucked it away, you're trying to get downfield, but someone's always coming up trying to rake at the ball and knock it free. That was nice work there defensively to force incompletion. Now, even though this drive started in plus territory, they're still not in field goal range yet. So they can work towards another couple of stops and not allowing that turnover to hurt.
And he'll get this down only to about the 46. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead. So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. Flushed out right. He'll take a shot for the end zone. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. DK Metcalf, 46 yards. And the Seahawks are able to capitalize on the forced fumble by turning it into 6 points. Myers connects on the PAT, and the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. The kick unit for the Seahawks out there on the field, and we are ready to rock. From the 10. Oh, good-looking return set up here. Taking it right down Broadway. Past the 20. He will score. Touchdown, Saints. Still down very big on the scoreboard, but a little feather in their cap here.
And it's a big-time play, and if you don't get energized after a kick return, well, then your team just doesn't have any spark. We'll find out if this is the start of a big comeback or just cosmetics as we go along.
So now the other return teams out there as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw.
Don't worry about it, dude. Don't worry about it. Let's go.
And we will not see an attempt to match that return touchdown, as this will be a touchback and bring it out to the 25. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Well, they got to be thrilled with how they've operated so far in this one. They've got the nice lead, and now a chance to score here on 3 straight possessions.
Yeah, and the way that they are rolling, I just don't know how they get slowed down, because they certainly are operating at peak efficiency right now. They might want to think about giving some of their backups a little bit of work, though. Let some other guys get on the field and do their thing and save some of this for the next time out.
Well, a nice throw here right side. He hauls it in. 20, 10, 5, and all the way in. Touchdown, Seattle. Tyler Lockett. Halfway to 100 now with career touchdown number 50. And the Seahawks just continue to roll. And nothing too crazy there. A quick slant, and then he just had a seam. He found a seam.
And when you hit it on the run like that, and I mean the pass right to the receiver who's already in motion and moving, sometimes he just takes it and runs away from everyone else.
And he ran it into the end zone. And the defense, they've got to adjust there quickly. That's tough on them.
That's really tough because everything was executed well. Ball was out of his hands quickly, into the hands of the receiver, and then he was gone.
From the 10. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. Getting
And set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense.
Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable now.
And it's a fumble. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And they'll be at the 18-yard line. Great field position here in the red zone.
Hey, I'm all about defense forcing plays and getting takeaways. But an interception and 2 fumbles in their last 3 offensive possessions.
Time to readjust?
Yeah, you can't just give all the credit to the defense on that. They've got to look in the mirror and take a blame themselves and figure out how to not do it anymore.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. Up the middle they run. It's Walker. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. 43 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times. Back to Walker on 1st down. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage. And no more. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
It'll definitely be a disappointment to come out of this starting position with just 3 points. They need to try to dial something up now, 3rd and 10. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Drew Lock taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Seahawks get another third-quarter touchdown to add on to that lead. Extra point up and through by Myers. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. From the 10. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started.
Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. So a 5-yard run the other way in the wrong direction, and that leads us to 2nd and 15. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Quandre Diggs. And he'll take this across midfield and inside the 45. Gosh, you add up last week and this week now. That's 9 interceptions in this 2-game stretch, and we're not done here.
It's almost as if they can't even believe their eyes. Or maybe, partner, is the confidence level in him so high that they believe he'll get out of it and make plays for them to win a game.
Well, they've said they believe in him. That's being tested right here. Sliding out of the pocket. Well, Metcalf, what a catch. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. It's a gain of 15, 1st down Seahawks.
Well, up big, but still not hesitating to take some shots downfield, CD. I guess they really want to hammer home their dominance in this one.
Yeah, that much is apparent, partner. If they keep completing throws like that, they'll keep that gap awfully wide as they've established already.
3 quarters have come and gone. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Lock. And this will be caught by Metcalf for a Seahawk touchdown. From 21 yards away. And the Seahawks are closing in on a 4-1 start as they extend their 4th quarter lead. And now, of course, all scoring plays are reviewed, and I think they're going to take an extra long look at this one. Myers connects on the PAT, and this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This one taken just inside the 10. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27.
So already not the best of kick returns there, but that penalty, that adds insult to injury and backs him up even closer to the goal line.
Yeah, not ideal field position to begin a drive, is it? Because the extra pressure now goes on the offense. They've got to get some early yards and get away from the shadow of their own goalposts. What every offense wants to do in this situation, get 2 first downs to help out with field position at the least.
On 1st and 10, Winston. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
Well, we've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. And I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes, they want to catch the ball, but they also want to make sure that the defenders don't take it away.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Winston now. And now here is another interception. And this drive will start on the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. Well, partner, I got to tell you, I'm trying to think of something positive to say for this offense, but I'd have to be a spin doctor for that one. This has been a tough performance to watch.
And I think it's hard at this point to actually identify what's really gone wrong. I guess the catch-all is everything. Doesn't sound like real sharp analysis, but I don't have much else for you.
And the scoreboard just lopsided, and it's been ugly from the get-go. And the Seahawks are going to be looking at 1st and goal as they move this down to the 4-yard line. Walker not going anywhere. He'll lose a couple back to the 6. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brandon, at some point, these defenders absolutely have to say, we just got to make a stand. We've had enough of this.
Given up a lot of points in this game, but look better on that play. Toward the pylon, caught. And just shy of the goal line as he's out of bounds right at the 1. 5 yards that time on the completion, and now it's 3rd and goal. They'll try and run. Walker, and he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Ken Walker, his 10th touchdown of the season, 2nd of the game. And the Seahawks look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this 4th quarter. Extra point up and through by Myers. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is taken just shy of the 10. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. Facing a big 4th quarter deficit here, things not looking good. You know, this offense, though, they've been in the top half of the NFL so far this season, but in this one, their defense has really struggled. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That one goes for 24 yards. Well, a touchdown here on this drive, it wouldn't really put much of a dent in the score, the deficit right now. But as you mentioned in the past, CD, their coach is probably just hoping to see something executed correctly on this drive before we close out the ball game.
Yeah, and I think that every guy who's on the field has to feel exactly the same way, because if not, they might be looking for replacements. Treat every drive as if it's your last and make it a successful one in some small way.
On 2nd down, Kamara.
So a player's shaken up. We'll get a stoppage here. And that's Alvin Kamara, the one who's going to receive some attention. Hopefully he's okay. Hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. Back to the ground, this time with Jones. And he gets this only to the 44-yard line. Not near enough to keep the drive alive.
So look at this. Here's the field goal unit coming out. And he is going to need to bomb this one. The kick by Lutz is good.
Well, Charles, the NFL record is 66 yards. That was 5 shy of that, but only a handful of guys have ever connected from 61 or deeper, and he can add his name to the list.
Yeah, more and more guys are trying it. That doesn't mean the success rate has gone up. That is a long kick. Guaranteed, when he turns on his phone after the game, a ton of congratulatory texts will be awaiting him.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense.
Well, they don't really need the points here, Charles, given what we're looking at on the scoreboard, but they've scored on 3 consecutive possessions, 3 consecutive drives, and I'm sure that they would like to keep that streak going here and continuing to pour it on.
And things have gotten that way in the NFL, haven't they, partner? Because in the old days, people would, they'd get off the gas a little bit, right? But now, people continue to accelerate. But we'll see what they decide to do as they come out for this one. But the way this game has gone, they've got to be awfully happy with their execution overall.
Lock now on first down. He lets it fly for Lockett. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Tyler Lockett, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Seahawks continue to run up the score. They lead it big here in the fourth. Myers connects on the PAT. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. From the 10. And they will wrangle it down a couple yards shy of the 30. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. Well, I think that the folks here had hoped that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a surprise victory, but it does not appear. Now a loose football. The ball comes out, and the Seahawks have picked it up. And he's going to return it to the 21-yard line.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. Out of the gun, Walker with it. And he'll be taken down at the 20 after a gain of just 1.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Block now to throw. Walker with a grab, left side. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. Short completion, just 4 yards, and it brings up 3rd and 5 now.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it could turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
Lock going to throw. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Well, Charles, they had the comfortable lead, and now it's even more comfortable. Another score here in the fourth quarter to grow that lead.
But I think your initial reaction is surprise when you see a team piling it on this late in the blowout. But there are plenty of coaches who also think that if you pull up completely and stop trying to play the game, it shows disrespect to their opponent. So they don't want to embarrass them. They continue to let their players go for it.
Extra point up and through by Myers. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
From the 10. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this.
And my goodness, another interception. And a super return as he gets us all the way down inside the 25-yard line. Yet another mistake after the interception there. And, gosh, you look up at the scoreboard, they just got to be thinking this one cannot get over fast enough.
It certainly can't. And also what happens when you get this big of a deficit, you're supposed to make all the right throws, right? You're supposed to try and obviously get the ball to your own guys. But being down this big, you also take even more chances. And in this situation, that hasn't paid off for them at all.
On the other sideline, jubilation and laughter.
52 yards rushing for him now with a couple of touchdown runs to boot.
A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3.
Sticking with Walker on 2nd down.
And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
They were not fooling around at all, were they? 2nd and short, and they brought out the heavy package. Almost felt like the super heavy package against that defense, didn't it?
Yeah, I don't think they expected that much beef up front, and it turned into an easy first down conversion. Escaping the pressure right. And it looks like he'll be just a yard shy of the 5 here as he's out at the 6. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, you admire anyone trying to pick up an additional couple of yards. They're just not worth it when you take shots like that. Quarterbacks have to stay in the game and stay on the field.
2nd and 4. They could still get a first down without scoring. On 2nd down, it's Walker. A 5-yard gain there makes it 1st and goal.
Some good strong running right there. Some power and some explosiveness just about got him into the end zone.
Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this.
And Walker once more.
And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. The extra point now coming from Myers. Now, this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. The kick unit for the Seahawks out there on the field, and we are ready to rock.
From the 10. And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
And as this defense walks off the field, they can do so with their heads held high. What a performance by the offense, too. I mean, really, Charles, just complete domination on both sides of the football here in this one.
Certainly was, and I think both sides compete against each other all the time. You go at each other